want more than to stay alive. So come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. Stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh, so come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. Stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh, the morning light. Oh, I just wanna be your Superman. Come fly with me, just take my hand. And now that we are cruising in mid-flight, you better watch out for the
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Tall Man Cruise Adventures live show. I am your host, Robert, a.k.a. the Tall Man. Oh, and I'm flying solo today. So it's just me. You got just me. We've had to give Lisa the night off, so I'm sorry. It's just me. Anyway, we are coming to you live this very moment from the MSC Seascape from cabin 11268. Today was a day in the Cayman Islands. It was a fantastic day. Went and swam with the stingrays if you were watching the highlights in the front. And so, but I've also got two really big nuggets, stuff that happened to me today, which we'll talk about after we talk about Deck 5. But first, a little bit of balcony cam. The waves are kind of calm right now. So, I mean, you can barely see. It's almost like we're not moving. But we're heading to Cozumel. That's tomorrow, Cozumel. And so, anyway, let me say hello. We appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much. And hello, Patricia, Justina, Lido Life. Hello there. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is well and had a fantastic day. Hey, what's up, Mr. Prince? How you doing? I'm doing good. All right, so we're going to play you Deck 5, and then we're going to come back and do a little bit of Q&A, right? We're here on the ship, and so here are the housekeeping notes. If you're watching us for the very first time and you're with us live, and you have a question about this ship, leave it in the chat. We answer all our questions. If we don't know the answer now, we will write it down and go get the answer for you and bring it to you in one of the next upcoming live shows, all right? If you're watching the replay and you have a question, well, leave it in the comments, because we answer all our comments too. And again, we will bring you the answer in one of the upcoming streams. And I see everybody's been giving a thumbs up. Thank you so much. There's applause for everybody. If you're new to the channel, do us a huge favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we're coming live, which is pretty much every single night when we're on a ship. Okay? And we thank you all from the bottom of our heart. And last but not least, come and join our Facebook group. We post different things on Facebook than we do here on YouTube. So make sure you're part of that. And answer the two questions. You know, what was your first cruise? If you've never been on one, just put none. And agree to the community rules, which is like, it's basically just be kind to one another. All right? And it'll let you write in. If you don't answer the questions, it declines you. Okay? So that's that. Let's get on to Deck 5. Now, partially, it's recorded. Partially, I'm going to have to narrate it because the music was so loud. I'm going to have to turn it off or we're going to have issues with YouTube. So here's Deck 5. Hey there, Tall Man Clan, and welcome back. Today we are on the MSC Seascape. We are on Deck 5, and we're going to show you all of the public areas in relationship to stairs and elevators. So let's get to it. We are sort of in the middle of the ship, and there is actually nothing over here to the right. We always stay sort of to the right, but there are doors there that are all locked up. So we're actually going to sort of start in the middle, which is the green wave again. And that about ends the much of the recorded audio that we can leave here. So we're entering the restaurant that is on Deck 5. What I was doing is I was pointing out they use wine bottles like art installations around the ship, which is nice. But look at the decor in here, right? The chairs are real dark. I think they were black. Real light gray carpet with the little swirly pattern in there. Real nice. Just a real elegant looking dining room. Now, unlike a lot of ships, the dining rooms on this ship are much smaller. But there are more of them. Okay, they're not multiple stories like a lot of them. Lido Life, yeah, it does look a lot like the seashore. I mean, the seashore, the seaside, the seascape, and the sea. I forget the other one. They're all sister ships. Just slight differences between them. But they do use a lot of mirrors on this ship to give you the feeling of greater space. Like even here, that column in the middle is like a brushed stainless. Speaking of mirrors, there's a couple right there. And so we just kind of walking through. There's this little back area here that we snuck our nose into. Almost like, let's say you had a large group. Like our group cruise coming up and we were on this ship. Our whole group could just be assigned to that area back there. I'm just saying. Just, group cruise. Come on. Become part of the group cruise. November 2025. Anyway, we'll talk about more of that later. So yeah, so we're just going to walk around to the other side here so that you can see what it looks like, but it's basically a mirror image. And so far, all of the experiences in the main dining have been very pleasant, except for one of the nuggets I got for you later tonight. There's the kitchen right back there. We're going to actually poke our head, at least through the glass. They're back there getting ready for breakfast. This was one of those early morning jaunts. I will say, I can't remember what the passenger count is, but we're in the mid-4s. This dining room has not once been filled, maybe half filled every night. Now we have the early seating. They have 3 total seatings. They've got a 5, a 7:15, and a 9:15, I think, or a 9:30, something like that. So early, mid, and late, if you will. Now, you don't get to choose the dining room. When you get to the ship, it'll be on your card. It'll tell you what dining room that you're supposed to go to, as well as the time. We are in the Cala Jandal restaurant, which is on deck 6. You'll see that tomorrow night. All right, so we're coming out of the restaurant. We're going to hang off to the right here. Deck 5, from a public standpoint, is actually kind of small. There's some bathrooms right there, men and women's, and it is they're also set up for accessibility. Okay, so we're coming into the main atrium area of the ship. And remember I talked about mirrors? See, the ceiling's all mirrors there. It gives you the feeling of a bigger space. I thought that might be it's like a little corporate room or something, but it's not. It's actually security. That's where you come in the ship. So I actually got out of there pretty quick before I got in trouble. Here's your future cruise desk. So if you want to book a cruise like Lido Life did while you're on the ship, you do it from right there. But here's the atrium. It's 3 stories. Just absolutely beautiful. It really is very, very, very elegant. Very classy. And then over here to the right is some of the cabins. That's what I was pointing at. There are cabins on deck 5. Okay. This is one of the little sort of areas where if you want to order pictures, you can order them from right there. But this hallway here leads you down to sort of the main photo area. Okay. Big LED wall showing you different things. They have this thing on board called the iris. We'll talk more about it a little bit later when I've learned a little bit more, but it'll take a picture of your eyeball and turn it into art. Actually really neat. We'll get more information and talk about that later. Again, here's the hub, right? So this is your main photo area. Again, thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. A little thumbs up for everyone, or a little applause. Here's your MSC Foundation. They are big into giving back. And this is sort of the end of deck 5. You can't go any further. This little round thing that I'm in right there, there's a couple of pads or iPads or tablets where you can order your photos from as well. And that's also a 3-story art installation there. You can go up the stairs to get to deck 6. Yeah, nice comfortable area to sit there and look at your pictures if you want. So we're now going to sort of go back to the right. Of course, we're walking back over our same steps here. But again, you remember I was mentioning mirrors. The ceiling here is kind of low in this hallway, but it doesn't feel that because of the mirrors. What I was pointing out is they still have a little bit of old school here. They do put pictures up on the walls. It's not 100% digital. So it's kind of neat. These days, most of the cruise ships have gone all digital. Here you can scan that QR code and go look at your pictures. Walking straight up to the main atrium bar here. You can see the 3 stories again. It's nice. So over here is your guest services or guest relations area. If you have an issue with things, this is where you would come and get answers or solutions to your problems. Yeah, and in the end, that's it. We have come full circle. Oh, I was about to point out the kiosk here. I've told you before in previous streams that when you get on board, they have not attached your credit card to your onboard account yet. You have to do it yourself. That is one of those kiosks. You come in there and scan your card, and then you scan your credit card, and you're tied. What I'm pointing out now is there are these digital boards all over the ship. It'll help you navigate through the ship. It gives you the time, as you can see, the deck, the temperature, all kinds of things. Deck plans, activities. Basically, it's like the app on your phone, but it's on the wall. All right? And so that actually is it for Deck 5. It was a quick deck. And so we'll continue on and give you another deck tomorrow. But Deck 5 from the public area is nice and easy. And again, thank you all so much for the thumbs up. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. I knew a few other people came in late, and so I just want to say hello to everybody that I missed. Bev Jewel, good evening to you. Mama Tall Man, hello. Good evening, Gina and Macrina. You woke up from your slumber. Again, I already mentioned that Lido Live. Yeah, it does look a lot like the seashore. I do like the tablecloths. You miss them. Yeah, let me tell you. I mean, it's not white glove service, but they change your silverware out. There's linens, on the table, the tablecloths. It's a classy ship, and I feel a classy cruise line. I really do. It's really a premium cruise line experience on a contemporary cruise line budget. If you don't know what I mean, Carnivals of the world, they would be considered contemporary prices down here. You get into your celebrities and your Holland, they're the premiums. They're about up here. Then you get, of course, into your luxuries like Seabourn and Viking and stuff like that. So it's a Carnival price, but it's a celebrity experience. So hello, Mr. Cruise Fever, welcome. Lena Life says, what a class act. Yeah. Hello, Ashley. Welcome back. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate everybody being here. These ships have so many restrooms. Yes, they do. They're everywhere, and they're labeled clearly. They're not like hidden, like where's Waldo. I've been on some ships that I think it wasn't Virgin, Lisa, that I had problems trying to find a public restroom. Yeah. You don't have to answer. You can just nod your head.
They're all marked Algebra, I believe.
Yeah, but they're like far and few in between. Yeah. Lisa's here. She's just not feeling well. She has been well for the last couple days. So, did Lisa go to a show tonight? No, she's in bed. She's been in bed for a couple days. So, she's just trying to get better. She doesn't have the creepy crud. It's everything's caught up, right? East Coast to West Coast streaming in an earlier time, which screwed up our schedules. We're up 3 o'clock in the morning filming multiple nights, playing back. All of a sudden we're here and boom, the creepy crud caught up with her. Not the norovirus and not, the COVID. She's just nasty and just needs some rest. So we're giving her the night off. So unfortunately, because she's not feeling well, she did not get to go swim with the stingrays with me today, which is like our absolute favorite thing to do. It's the only excursion we do religiously every single time we go to Caymans. I don't care how many times we've gone there, we go swim with the stingrays. It's such a magical, cool kind of thing. And hopefully y'all caught the highlights tonight of us. In fact, if you didn't hear, I'm just going to go back real quick. I'm going to turn the microphone off. I'm going to mute this. I'm just going to scroll forward so you can see some of there was the boat ride out there. It takes about 30 minutes. So first of all, you board a bus at the port, and it's about a 15-minute bus ride to the opposite side of the island. And then you get on a small boat, and then the boat takes you out there, which is about a half an hour journey on the boat. I bet you could do it in 20 minutes. This particular boat was a little bit slow, so it was about 30 minutes. And basically where you're going to, it's called Stingray City. If you didn't know what Stingray City is, it's a sandbar a couple miles out into the ocean. And the story behind this thing is that fishermen have been cleaning their fish out there for like 100 years. And the stingrays have just gotten used to getting fed. Oh yeah, we picked up some starfish along the way too, which is kind of neat. And so there they are. They're not in captivity. We're in the ocean. Oh yeah, I kissed one. That was Amanda. I kissed Amanda. And so they just kind of swim in and around you. Usually they will bring some fish that you can feed them, or squid. You put it in your hand and they come up and they suck it out of your hand. You just want to keep your thumbs in and stuff, or they'll give you a hickey. But anyway, so real fun. Absolutely. If you've never swam with the stingrays, oh my gosh, Lisa and I highly, 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 highly recommend it. Even if it's like, because there was a couple people, or at least one today, that every time one came by, she jumped up into her husband's arms. It was kind of funny and screaming. Yeah, it was funny. And usually it happens on every single time we go out there. There's somebody that's, but they have gotten off the boat and they tried. And so I give them all the credit in the world for doing that. So. Anyway, Lido Life says, we thought those card readers were going to be a mess, but no, it was really easy. You walk up and it asks English or something like that. You touch the button, it then says, please scan your room card. So you scan that. It says, here are the passengers in your room. Do you want them all tied to your payment method? Yes or no? And then put your credit card in. That's that. When we get to other decks, I'll show you the ones that take cash. If you don't have a credit card, you want to use cash, you do that. You just slide cash in there like an ATM. It's really quite simple. Charlene, welcome from Indianapolis. Mamie Radar, hello. Angela! Gosh, we have missed you. Lisa says hello. She's, like I said, she's just in bed. You stop talking. I understand. Back up. You forgot me. No, Angela, we have not forgotten about you. We are so glad to have you back. And I hope you had a fantastic time on your cruise. Lido Life says, best bang for your buck. Yeah, he just got off the seashore a week or two ago. Booked it based upon our videos, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. Mr. Cruise Fever, let's all pray for the victims of the path of bad weather. Yeah, I haven't tuned in. Obviously, we're on a cruise ship, but there's a couple weather guys on YouTube that I watch, and I've seen some some videos pop up. I guess there's a lot of bad weather out there. So yes, absolute prayers for all those affected by the horrible weather that is going through the middle of the country right now. The United States, that is, for those watching in other countries. Macrina says, hugs to Lisa. Yeah, all right. Angela says, I'm under the weather too for the last 3 days. Hope she feels better soon. Yeah, I think we'll drag her off the ship. We're going to Cozumel tomorrow. There's nothing that we do there. We get off. We may buy a T-shirt or a new hat. This time we're not, because we've just been there 3 or 4 times out of the last 5 cruises we took. But we stop there and we get medicine, drugs. It's cheaper in Mexico than it is in the United States, and it's the same stuff. So we get the drugs there. So we'll get off and do that. Yes, the stingrays are the best. I'm glad you've tried that. It is so, so fun. There was a photographer there. If you're like, I don't have the GoPro and I don't want to put my phone in the bag and this, don't worry. There's a photographer that's on the boat. He's taking pictures and video and stuff. And it was, I don't know, $40 or something like that if you wanted the photos. But yeah. Tuesday says, hello. Tell Lisa I hope she feels better soon. That time zone can get to a person when you are constantly on the move. And we are. Now, look, I'm used to the jet setting, crossing time zone. That's been my life for more years than I know. One moment I'm in Dubai, 2 days later I'm in LA, 2 days after that I'm in New York, and then all of a sudden I'm in Australia or something. And so I'm you never get used to it, but I'm used to it. You know what I mean? Lisa's not quite used to that. Normally our time changes are a little bit slower. But this last one was it really was a mess. We flew over there, got right to work because it was the naming ceremony. We had, literally chucked the luggage in the room, off the ship, took a picture for the thumbnail, put the thumbnail up, and zoop, into the naming ceremony. And that was late at night, which was about 1 o'clock our time, 1:30, which that's well past her bedtime. And so that started it. And then we get on the ship, the two nights that we get up at 3 o'clock in the morning right away, that compounded things. And like I said, the creepy crud just caught up to it. It's just like a congestion thing and allergies and stuff. And so she'll cough it out, and hopefully we'll be up and about tomorrow. But she got up today, went and had a little bit of breakfast, went up to the buffet. I've been eating dinner by myself because she's not feeling good enough to go sit in the dining room, but she went up to the main dining room, got some soup. What soup did you have tonight?
The Italian one.
Oh, so you had the Italian soup too? Okay. We'll talk about tonight's menu in a minute, guys. Okay? Anyway, Lisa has the Chinese food. She's dragging. Thank you, Macrina. Yes. Bev Jewel says, I have never swam with the stingrays, but I did get to pet one once in an aquarium. Bev, you got to go do it. You really. I mean, it's, I'm sure, again, you saw from the highlights, it's a sandbar. You're about waist deep in water. It's never over your head, so you don't even have to swim. Okay. And they swim around you. Sometimes some of the excursions we've been on, they've provided snorkels and masks and fins. This particular one with MSC did not. So I never got underwater. Of course, I had my GoPro underwater, which you saw. But yeah, it's just fantastic. Really, really. Prince, our next port again is Cozumel. So we'll be there tomorrow. Okay. Good morning, adventures. Welcome, buddy. How you doing? It was good to meet you on the Frenzy. Hope you had a fantastic time on the Frenzy. We did. MSC versus Carnival going. We've been very vocal. MSC is quickly becoming our favorite cruise line to be on. Dollar for dollar, I don't think you can beat the experience, right? I mean, if you're into the fun squad kind of cruise, then you got to go on Carnival. There's no other cruise line that's going to make you that happy if you are that into the fun squad and what the fun squad does and all that kind of hoopla around it, okay? There's no other cruise line that's going to give you that same experience. But food quality, service, look of the ships, destinations and things, and the cost of it. Man, MSC's beating Carnival. They just are. Now, mind you, we have only been on the sea ships, Seascape, Seashore, Seaside. We've never done the Meraviglia. We've not done any of their older ships that are over in Europe, so I cannot compare those. Most of the people that have had bad experiences have had them on the other ships. So I don't know how to equate all of that for you guys, other than we just can't say enough good stuff about MSC. That being said, we enjoy the heck out of Carnival as well, right? There's and again, we've been very vocal about that. I don't think there's a cruise line, huh?
Love the Frenzy.
Yeah, we love the Frenzy. We love all cruise lines. We just love them all for different things. And to pick a favorite is so tough. It really, really is. But I feel dollar for dollar with the look of the ship, the service that you get, the food, the room space. It's MSC. It really is. The rooms are a little bit bigger than Carnival. I like the decor a little bit better. Of course, the new ship's decor are nice, but the food and the service is a bit better than Carnival. That, again, has been our experience. Okay? All right, moving forward. Again, welcome. Good morning, adventures. Appreciate you. Lido Life. Won't be doing the clown ships anymore. Yeah, Lido Life, he's a convert. He had been a Carnival, went on one MSC, and he's done. He's there forever. Mr. Cruise Fever says, hello, good morning, adventures. Yeah, he was hanging out with us just for a brief moment on one of our last streams. He came in right as we ended. I was going to have him come on, but he came in as we ended. Angela says, I miss you both, too. I had an awesome time on my cruise. Been busy and still traveling since you got back. No worries. Lido Life says, way above Carnival. Yeah. Oh, no, Justina says, Lisa's feeling well. I'm so sorry, Lisa, rest up. She is. Basically, it started before our... just a little bit before our the stream that we did 2 nights ago with all the cabins, the 14 cabin review. The second we hit stop, she rolled into bed. I mean, she was in bed within a minute, not even a minute, 30 seconds. And basically that's where she's been the past couple days. So she'll get some rest. Hello, Lori A. Welcome. We made it through the tornadoes last night through the grace of God. Thank you. Just saying hello to the Tall Man Clan. Thank you. Well, and I'm glad we didn't stream last night because you guys would have really needed to be paying attention to the weather more than us. Okay, so maybe that all worked out for the best. Mr. Cruise Fever also saying hello. I'm curious which Mexico ports are better between Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, Cabo San Lucas versus Cozumel, Costa Maya. Wow, that is a tall question to answer. Prince, they all offer something different. If you're into drinking, like if you're like the party drinker kind of person, you're going to want to either go to Cabo or Cozumel. As far as overall ambiance and what we've enjoyed, Cabo San Lucas is our favorite Mexican port. We don't necessarily care one way or the other for Cozumel or Costa Maya. And some of that could be only because it's just the same old crackers, meaning we have been to those two destinations so many times. It's just like getting up and walking into your kitchen. I mean, it really, it is. The allure and the specialness of it is gone because we've been there so many times. I have been to Puerto Vallarta and Cabo San Lucas a couple times, touring, doing what I did in a past life. Lisa had never been there, and she said when we were on the Frenzy that Cabo San Lucas is her favorite Mexican port now. And again, Tuesday is sending prayers for those during the flooding and the tornadoes. Laurier, glad that your family is good. Solid prayer for y'all this morning. Excellent. Thank you for saying a prayer. Some prayers for everybody out there. Okay. Thank you. He woke up, poor Justina woke up at 2 a.m. to the tornado sirens. Oh, gosh, I just can't imagine. I mean, look, we full-time RV, and so, which we've told you before, and weather, obviously, living in an RV is a big thing. It just is a big thing. And it's always been a big thing for me anyway, but the fact that we're full-time in an RV, if it looks like it's even going to be a severe storm, we're in the truck and we go away. We just leave it. Let it take it. It's just a piece of metal, right? Anything that's in there that can be replaced. I mean, some of them things are memories and stuff, but we can create new ones. It's not worth it. And so we are super, super sensitive to weather, right? You make a good argument. I might have to give MSC another shot. I tried Divina before. Yeah, like I said, I can't speak for any of those. I've been on that. Try one of the sea ships. The Seashore is currently out of Port Canaveral, and the Seascape is currently out of Miami. Next year, it's going to be moving to Galveston because the World America is going to be coming to a brand new ship, and it's going to be sailing out of Miami, out of their brand new gigantic building they're building down there, terminal. It's freaking huge. Are you going to try MSC's new ship next year? Yes. We'll probably book it while we're here. Probably. It's just a timing thing. If I remember correctly, and I don't remember the date, I'll have to look it up. If it's early June, we're going to be okay. If it's late June, we're going to have a problem because our work schedule kicks back up late June. And I still believe we'll be still working this time next year. So we got to do those events anyway. Okay. All right. So a couple of fun nuggets for you. You guys ready for nuggets? I want to see some yeses in the chat. You ready for some nuggets? Lisa doesn't know any of this yet because, of course, she's been in bed. She hasn't heard this yet. But let's just say this. I've got my hot, steamy pile of waiting to talk about these nuggets. What's that tell you? Good day. Who's ready for nuggets? Chicken nuggets, anyone? Some nuggets? So, as it comes through, yes. All right, so when I got back from my excursions, got on the tender, came back here to the boat. I don't know what was going on. Took a little bit of time to snake through. It is what it is. That's okay. So I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. Came back to the room, checked on Lisa. She was okay. I said, did you want anything? No. You want to come with me? No. Okay, whatever. Dropped my stuff upstairs. And so I got a little Cuban sandwich, which was really good. Little Cuban sandwich. Little pasta. Not bad. It's been sitting there a little bit. And I went to go get some French fries. Now, mind you, I'm standing in the line, doing my thing. I come up to the French fries. I grab the tongs to get some French fries. And and this comes up, not in the line, and literally tries to take the tongs out of my hand to get French fries first.
What?
Oh, I mean, I looked at her like, are you kidding me? I mean, literally tried to wrestle them out of my hand. Not even a push me off to the side, take them out of my hand to get the French fries first. I'm like, I took one good look at it. I'm like, well, you're not about to fall down of, anorexia here. You probably can wait the 10 seconds to get French fries. And the person on my other side had the same look on their face. Could not believe the woman tried to take the tongs out of my hands. Yo, people. I don't know, man. That was the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me in a buffet. Oh, you know what? That's a good what. What's the strangest thing that has happened to you at one of the buffets? Leave your story in the comment and I'll read them. But that was nugget number one. Nugget number two was at dinner. It's nuggets here seem to follow around food times. I don't know, food times again, right? Wow. I at first it was shock, and then it was like it wasn't one attempt. She went to grab and I looked and I moved them like, did she just try to do that? Like the first time it was shock, and then she went for them a second time because I had moved, and that's when I just got mad because I'm like, this is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. So that was an interesting nugget today on the buffet. So the second one was at dinner, but I'll get to that in a second. Let me see what some of you, Angela's laughing. What a butt. Yeah, that's one word to choose. Some people's kid. No, this was not a child. This was an adult. Probably 40-ish, 35, 40. I mean, I'm sorry to tell, but this was not a child. Excuse me, lady, back up. Yeah, right. That's not the words that were going to come out of my mouth. I didn't have a button, so I couldn't say anything. Good Morning Adventure says, I know we've only went once, but I'd fight you for tongs to get fries first. Kidding, of course, because you'd lose. Hey, man. Anyway, I would share my tongs with you. Patricia says, lady doesn't know what personal space is. Patricia, it goes beyond personal space. That's just... Years and years and years and years and years ago, long before I ever met Lisa, I was fresh out of the military, went to work for Disney. I'll tell you this story. And one of our least favorite times of year in the entertainment department were summer, because during summer there was a lot of at this time Brazilian tours. Now, I got no hate towards the Brazilian people. Okay, I'm just explaining you the story of how things were at that time. Now, there's no such thing as a queue line, right? To line up for stuff. A lot of people in that culture, they have to fight for the things they want. And so it's a very pushy, grabby kind of a thing. And during the summertime, when these big Brazilian tours, law and order goes away when it comes to a queuing thing, because it's just an amoeba and everybody's pushing and fighting, trying to get what they want. It is our least favorite, used to be, at Disney, working in the entertainment department. Now, this particular person here on the ship, maybe she was Brazilian and having to fight for what she wanted. I don't know. I don't care. My hands on the tongue, for God's sakes. Just give me a minute. It's not even going to take a minute. It's going to be a scoop. It's going to be on my plate. And then, honestly, you should probably be behind this other guy because we were waiting in line. I'm just saying. But anyway. It's a play on words. Yeah, it is. Did she think she was entitled. I, even though you misspelled it, she was untitled when I was done with her. What exactly did you say? I just said, excuse me. Because, like I said, the first part was shock, but when she went again, I got mad. And I held tight. I was like, excuse me? You can wait a minute. That's literally the few words that came out of my mouth. Excuse me, you can wait a minute. And I finished getting what I was getting, and then I put the tongs down, gave her another, look of death as I walked away. I gave her the look. Anyway, if my eyes were burning, they would burn her up, man. So, speaking of entitled, I think that's more of what the second nugget is about. People entitled. So, again, today's day 4 of the cruise. This is not day 1. Day 4. Okay? Our 4th time eating in the main dining. Again, I know Lisa hasn't been there. Actually, she hasn't gone the last couple nights. So it's just been me. And so we're at this little 2-top shoved in a corner. When we do tomorrow night's tour of Deck 6, I point out our table. You'll see. And then the story will make a little more sense. Right across from where I sit, I'm looking at this 8-top table, meaning 8 chairs around it. And it's this older couple. I believe they were originally from Russia. They've been living in the United States for past 30 years. I can hear their conversations because we're close. And then the first night, there was another couple with them. They weren't there the second night. They were there again last night. They weren't there again tonight. Now, before I get into the rest of the story, I got another question to ask you guys. If you go into the main dining room and you're at a table of 4, 6, 8, where you're sitting with other couples, and the chairs that you sit in the first night, are those the same chairs you sit in every night when you go back to that table? Or do you move around the table? I really am curious. Do you sit in the same 2 every single night? Or do you move around? Leave that down there in the chat because I want to know. Let me read some of these questions and I'll get back to my nugget, my story here. That's what I've been hearing about MSC, the rude crowds. That's why I'm sort of shocked at your praise for MSC. Again, this is our 4th cruise. This is the first time we've had any sort of rude experience. With all the cruising that we do, I feel there's a lot of rude experience these days. We've talked about this in other streams. People that are cruising now, it's a different crowd than used to cruise before. I don't know how else to explain it. So there's just a lack of common courtesy. And I don't want to say rude. Some of it's just common sense. So that happens on all cruise lines, Prince. That is not an MSC specific thing. This particular cruise that we're on right now, the Seascape out of Miami. I don't know if it's this one. I'll know more because remember we're doing it back to back. This one is very, 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 very heavy overseas passengers. I bet it's probably 3 or 4 to 1. I've only heard English spoken a few times around the ship. There's a lot of foreign languages here. And it's not like the Hispanic culture from South Florida. We talked about this last night. No, there's French. I've been hanging out with someone from Ireland upstairs. Morna is her name. Heavy Gaelic accent. It's hard to understand it, but I just listen and get it. But they're from all over the world, this particular cruise. And so different cultures have different ways of handling things. I have felt no rudeness other than the 2 experiences I'm about to tell you. Everything else has been great. So I'm not sure what you read or hear from other people, but and maybe because Lisa and I might be slightly more tolerable. By the way, thank you for the thumbs up. Because we just, generally speaking, across the world and everything, there just seems to be a lack of common sense. So anyway, Angela says she was hungry and been wanting those fries all day and you moved too slow. No, I promise you, Angela, and my wife can attest to this, I am not a slow mover. When I go into shopping, like if we're on the road, one of my least favorite things to do is shop, first of all. And we will go to Walmart frequently for our shopping because we can get the same food in every state that we go to, which helps with our diet and helps keeping things just good, right? When you got to change things up and flavor. So anyway, I can go into Walmart with my cart and in 20 minutes fill that sucker up with 2 weeks worth of groceries and be out of there in 20 minutes. Okay. Lisa, it's a couple of hours. 3 hours. She's holding up 3 fingers. 20 minutes. I literally push the cart up. I do the same thing on the buffet. Walk on. Move. Man, it's the military in me, man. Grab that food, eat. Dinner, the last couple nights, I'm in and out of the main dining room in 45 minutes. I'm done with dinner and people are just beginning to get their entrees. I promise you, I was not moving slow. Okay, so my response to people who have done that me, are you going to buy me dinner first, then back up? Especially happened during COVID times. A Little Life also said they had no problems with attitude during theirs. Omelet Lady. Good for you. Macrina then says, I would have said the same thing. Would have said, can I help you? And then hand the dogs to the man behind her, right?
I would have done that.
Yeah. By the way, what Macrina was referring to, and I'll tell you the story if you weren't on the stream, there was this guy that had the best answer for an entitled person. I'll share that in just a minute. Yep, same ones. Patricia says, I would usually sit in the same. Okay, sit in the same. Prince would move around. Gina sits in the same. You sat in the same seat every night. Okay. Yes, sit in the same seat too. Okay, everybody sits in the same seat. Okay, awesome. All right. But Bev does say, usually would depend on who got to the table first. Linda K. Mama Tallman just writes K. Okay, Mom, whatever. I just want to sit by the window and stare at the ocean, and I'm happy. No, I agree too. We're in a little cubby. No ocean for us. We lost count of the different counties that were on the ship. Countries. Yeah, right? It's crazy. It was kind of cool, though. It's neat. There are rude people on all lines. Newish on Tide Channel from Westchester, New York. Emily here. Hi, Emily. Welcome to the Tall Man Clan. Everybody will give you a welcome. Okay, so I'm going to move on with the nugget. So, the reason why I asked about the seats, the older Russian couple has been sitting in their same 2 chairs 3 nights in a row. Okay, tonight's night 4. So I get there before them, and again, I'm not at their table. I'm at my little 2-top next to them, and I sit where I can see them. So I sit down and I look. There's 3 people sitting there that I have never seen before. It's day 4, and they have yet to ever come to the main dining room. I just find that a bit weird. So that was the first part, but it's okay. So, the water starts getting served, and then the Russian couple walks up. They looked at these, and of course, they were sitting in 2 of their chairs. They were sitting in the chairs that the Russian couple always sit in. They were like, it's kind of funny at first, but they moved around the other side of the table and sat down in a couple other chairs. So now the fun begins. So first, let me see if I can get this in order. So the first thing they complained about was that the Russian couple joined them. Now, mind you, again, day 4 of this cruise. They've never been to the main dining room. And they're like, talking to the waiter, well, we're with a party of however many, 8. We're all supposed to be together. Why aren't we together? This is your fault. And I'm listening to the things she's telling this guy. And it was all I could do but to bite my tongue and stay in my chair. And he dealt with it very nicely. Our waiter's actually really cool. Anyway, and so that went on for probably 2 minutes. It was a little bit of time. And he went away. So now they're looking at the menu. Now, I've already ordered, and he's now gone over them. It took the 3 people 10 minutes to order the food. I literally started watching my watch. It was so long. They complained about everything. She complained about the water glass. She complained about the wine glass. Once the food got there, complained that there wasn't enough sauce. I mean, they literally complained absolutely about everything the entire time. At one point, the waiter comes over to me to say something. I'm like, psst, don't worry, they'll be gone tomorrow. whatever problem it was with their arrangement, the waiter got the maitre d' to come over, and they've reassigned them somewhere else. So everything will be back to normal. But this, in the whole time listening to them, you're talking about entitled. There were 3 times that I halfway got out of my chair. I mean, I wanted to go over to the Russian couple and apologize. That's what I wanted to do. Never mind the guy. It was a gentleman and 2 ladies. He was the only one, which, by the way, I walked the whole restaurant when I was done. He was one of 2 people wearing a ball cap. At least everybody else was kind enough to not have their ball caps on, because you're not supposed to have a hat on in the dining room. And they're there complaining about everything. I wanted to say to the maitre d', I said, okay, if they're I want to complain too. He needs to have his hat taken off. It's this close. Just because they were so rude to everyone around them, somebody needed to give them a taste of their own medicine. That's kind of what I felt. So, yeah. But we won't have to deal with them. You won't ever see them because they'll be at a different table tomorrow night, Lisa. But, yeah, I was just could not believe the rudeness of these people. And they didn't once say anything to the Russian couple. Not hello, not how are you, not how was your day. Not once did they. Just rude people. Anyway, moving on. Angela's crying. Women like to shop, men want to buy. Well, that's it. What I have a purpose. These are the things I need. Good to go. But that's correct. Lisa loves to window shop. It's her favorite thing to do, right? And if we have nothing better to do, she'll take the keys to the truck and she'll go out shopping and have fun doing it, right?
Come back with nothing.
Yep. And sometimes. You guys are talking about TJ Maxx. We are never done in 45 minutes at dinner anytime. Look, normally with me and Lisa, we're not. And we go with the ebb and flow, right? I mean, they take the orders and then they go and get stuff. But I'm by myself. Got nobody to talk to. I'm at a 2-top. And I've got a show to do. And because Lisa's been not feeling well the past couple of days, I've been having to do everything. So it's a little bit more work for me. So I asked my waiter kindly last night. I said, is it possible to sort of speed through this? And I let him know why. He said, sure, not a problem. And so he's, when I usually get 2 or 3 appetizers, boom, he drops them all at the same time, as opposed to bringing them one at a time like they normally would. Gonna get the whole table for myself. So, and take my pictures for you guys, which I have. I just haven't uploaded them yet. And then, look, if he brought the appetizers, the dinner, and the dessert, I probably would be out of there in 10 minutes. I'll taste it later. Yes, Tollman Clan, awesome. Thank you. I'm already subbed. Perfect. Welcome. Isn't it fun to be an observer? Yeah, look, that's what we do. Even with the channel, we give reviews of things. We're just sitting around watching and giving you a lot of times a play-by-play of our personal experience. And I know some people thought that we were complaining, other videos, you're complaining, you feel you're entitled. We're just sharing you the experiences of everybody around us. With the exception of the Tong lady tonight. That was a personal experience. So, Lido Life says, sorry, I missed you, Lido Life. People complain that the shampoo in the shower isn't the correct color. Yeah, I know. It will. Go read John Hield's blog and see the things that people complain about. It's crazy. I've never experienced it like face to face at that kind of level. I mean, just, they didn't like the shape of the wine glass. What the is that? I don't know. Karma 3 times. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I cannot deal with complainers on a cruise. I work hard for my vacation dollars and time off. Life is too short and trust me, if I had been at that table, I would have left. I would just walk up to the buffet and I would have said something to the maitre d' at the way out, on the way out. Just done, right? But I was not at their table. I was across the way. And anyway, it was all good. Justina says, Lisa, we need to go shop. She's group cruise,
I'm there.
girl shopping, done. Mr. Cruise Fever says, there is rude people everywhere these days. No more manners anymore. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. From driving right on through everywhere else. Back to the omelet guy, and I pray I can remember all the finer details. So, this was on a Carnival cruise. Didn't happen to me. It was something somebody was writing somewhere that I read in one of our, Are You Kidding Me segments. And the night before the incident, this gentleman is playing cards down in the casino. And this other older gentleman sits down next to him. And he's a diamond or a pinnacle or something. The top level, top tiered loyalty rewards. And they started talking about how the older gentleman, how a lot of people are entitled when they get to these levels, and some of them are just stupid and rude. But this guy was kind of cool, and they got along just nice. And so, but they had a great conversation while they were gambling. Anyway, so the next morning, the one guy telling the story is at breakfast. He's in line, a fairly long line to get an omelet. I think he said there was like 10 people behind him. And so he's just about to get up there next. And this lady walks right to the front of the line, holds up a card. I'm a such and such. And because I get to go to the front of the line. And everybody kind of looks around at one another like, are you kidding me? And the guy telling the story is like, I don't think that's one of the perks. And she smarted back off to him. Right at about this moment, the gentleman from the casino that he had been talking with, who's also actually was one level higher than her, walks up, says, I guess that means that I get to get in front of you then, doesn't it? So he steps in front of her. So she took that still as a victory because she's just one person back, not 12 or 10 or however many were in line. It was a long line. So this guy then proceeds to order omelets for everyone that's in line, right? When the lady's standing there. And so the chef's kind of laughing under his breath, makes one, hands it to the guy. He's like, no, I don't think I want this one. Would you like it? Passes it to the first person in line. The second one comes out, does the same thing all the way down the line while the entitled chick is standing there waiting still. That was brilliant. That guy's my new hero. That's the omelet lady that Macrina was referring to. Anyway, Gina says, I would love to be a fly on the wall in the dining room to see this. Oh, man. If I had thought my camera audio would have picked it up from where I was, I would have at least turned it on to capture the audio. I would never broadcast their faces. I would not because it's the right thing to do, but I don't want to give them the time of day. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give them. However, I would love to have had the audio to back up the story and play it for you. Listen, it's just, you'd scratch your head. Like, really? Yeah. Lido Life says, I remember my oh my God moment. Young female walking down the promenade, midday, smoking a big fat doobie. Right? Somebody was doing that on the Frenzy outside, close to the smoking area, but they weren't quite in the smoking area, and they were smoking a big fat one too. Yeah, no, our was the Frenzy. We just got off it. I was talking about that the other night. Yeah. EM74 says, good for him. Brilliant. I think she's talking about the guy with the omelet thing. Yeah. Patricia, it's a brilliant story. It really is. I make more than one complaint in my videos, and the comment section believes I'm the people you saw at dinner. So, look, it's one of the things you got to get used to, having a YouTube channel, buddy, is, if you have an opinion and you offer your opinion, somebody else is going to have the other side of that opinion. And it happens here too. Not too often, but every once in a while. And as long as they're courteous, I leave it alone, right? You just leave it alone. It's when it becomes a personal attack that they got to go away, right? Because that's just uncalled for. We all have our opinions, right? And everybody's entitled to them. And I welcome all opinions here, whether we're live or post. If you're watching the replay, put it in the chat, as long as it's not, personally attacking someone. Then it can stay, whether you agree with me or not, right? I don't delete anything, again, unless it's a personal attack. Oh, by the way, thank you for the thumbs up. Oh, I missed that. Wrong button. I'm gonna have to fix that one day. Tuesday says, I hope the omelet lady learned her lesson. Probably not, but maybe, I don't know. But speaking of fly, I would have loved to have been the fly on the wall. Oh, the final note of that story was, obviously the chef that was making the omelets passed this moment of the day on to everyone in the crew, because by the time they got to the casino that night, the casino people had heard about it and gave him some applause or something, or pat him on the back. They gave him recognition for what he did to this lady. And she deserved it. I mean, just come on. I'm a platinum, so I get to go to the front of the lines and get an omelet free first. Yeah, whatever. Macrina says, I watched another YouTuber on the Frenzy, and never again. All he complained about, everything, steakhouse, pool, drinks, everything. He never smiled and said it's not royalty. We'll even go. I don't, what are they talking about? It's the same thing I've heard only a couple of people here, because like I said, I don't understand half of what anybody's saying because they're speaking foreign languages, but the people at the table tonight made a comment about everything here as opposed to other cruise lines. I'm like, then go. But I just don't get it. The service on Frenzy was great. We didn't go in the steakhouse, so I can't offer an opinion on Fahrenheit 555 on the Frenzy. But we've been in Fahrenheit 555 on 3 or 4 other ships. It's been fantastic. We had one bad experience, but they made it right. Right? And that's all that counts. If there's something wrong, are they going to make it right? That's all that really matters. The pool, well, look, you should have done your research first. I will at least say this. The Lido area on that ship is not like other Carnival ships. It's just not. The Frenzy is just like it, right? And so you could have looked first, right? Let's see, what else did you put in there? Hang on a second, guys. I need a drink. Sorry about that. Man, we had a fantastic time. Ship was beautiful. Service was great. Food was great. I mean, there was a couple days where the buffet food, they were dialing it in a little bit for Carnival, right? I mean, I'm going to try to get some good shots of the buffet here to show you the difference between, say, a Carnival buffet and an MSC buffet. And I'll have to go back to see if I can find some footage of the Carnival buffets. I mean, they're vastly different. But yeah, well, I appreciate you not watching them and watching us instead. You get an extra. Yeah, Lisa and I, our stuff, we tried never to complain about anything, but rather, again, being the fly on the wall, share the experience. And whether or not we, think it's good or bad. Okay? Maybe Omelet Lady didn't get her omelet, ran out of eggs. That would have been perfect if the chef said, oh, I'm so sorry, we're out. It walked away. That would have been a perfect postscript to all of that. EM74 says, I would have gone to customer service. That lady is ridiculous. If you're talking about the omelet lady, or my lady from tonight at the other table, both deserved it. But what are they? They're not going to do anything. There's nothing to be done. What do you do about somebody trying to cut line? Don't cut the line. Come on. That's about all that's going to be done there. He's Good Morning Adventure says, I thought the service in Michelangelo was slow on Frenzy. The walls between tables made it tougher on the servers, though I still had a great time. I imagine it'll get better with time. So, look, I don't know, Good Morning Adventure, if this is your first inaugural cruise, but I can tell you this. Every inaugural cruise that we've ever been on, the main dining room, the first handful of nights, it's a disaster. Right? It's a new crew getting used to a new layout and a new way to get around and everything there about it. To also answer your question, these walls that you talk about, absolutely. There's servers that have to walk a long way to get to their tables that are on the other side. Boris, who is the maitre d' there, Michelangelo, had made a comment about they wish they would have thought about this a little bit deeper in the refurb process, so they could have made doorways in some of those walls. They're see-through. They're not hard walls. It's like a piece of artwork wall that just separates one side from the other. You could easily, cut a doorway in there. I mean, you have to shore it up and stuff, but I mean, this is not like you got to order a $6 million piece of equipment to fix it. Anyway, but I agree. And yes, it'll get better every day. And by the time we were done there, our first night was really slow. The second night was better, and all the rest of our nights were fine from a timing standpoint. And of course, timing's a thing for us because we're always on a clock with our streams. So, of course, on the Frenzy, we streamed before dinner. But, yeah. So, let's see. Macrina says, and again, nothing is perfect. If you want perfection, then stay home. I cannot stand chronic complainers. No, I agree. That's why these people at the table like I said, I got out of my seat almost 3 times. I couldn't take it anymore. And I wasn't even at their table. If I was, I would have been long gone. Yes, I'm not trying to down Carnival. It is what it is. But I've never seen roasted lamb shanks on a buffet on any other ship but MSC. You can go to Celebrity and see that. Their buffet is like world class.
They had mussels at lunch, and then they had fried squid at dinner.
Here? Yeah, they had fried mussels one day, yesterday on the buffet, and squid at dinner. I mean, it's really, the food is at a different level. It just is. But Leader Life, try Celebrity and go to their buffet. That blows this one away, believe it or not. It's amazing. It really, really is amazing. Yes, say it louder, Macrina. Say it louder. Amen. I need to add an amen to this thing over here. But we'll just stick with this. I mean, I can give you the
amen,
but that's not quite right. Anyway, so hopefully everybody enjoyed deck 5. It was a short deck, and I apologize having to do the live voiceover, but I cannot deal with another copyright strike from YouTube right now. Oh, they're such a pain in the butt. It's not a human. It's the algorithm. It hears, it matches, boom, you're in trouble. And so then you either got to try to figure out how to cut it out, you got to fight it. So we are being super, super hypersensitive, which again is also why a lot of people don't live stream. It's tough to get rid of the music on a ship. It's why the reason why we're in our cabin here is the Wi-Fi on the outside areas of the ship are a little less. Macrina's asking if Angela's going on the group cruise. Amen and hallelujah. Macrina, did Kathy call you back? And to Angela, I sent you the email maybe an hour ago. Reply with Kathy's information, okay? Sent Robert an email this morning to get the info, but he hasn't responded yet. I did too. Go look at it. I sent you an hour ago. Well, actually, probably 2 hours ago now because it was about an hour before the stream. So you should see it. Kathy still has not called me back. So I'll tell you what. I am an instant gratification person, y'all. I am going to email her right now because this will not work for me. Bookmark. History. I'm going to open all this stuff, y'all. Hang on. Actually, this is next to impossible.
Connecting with experts through QuickBooks.
What is that? Stop. Okay. Where is Kathy? Okay, give me a second. This is me, instant gratification, right? I'm just gonna get this done. Here's Kathy. Can I even do this with all these screens up? I don't know. I don't think I can, y'all. I think I'm going to have to do it after. Oh, wait a minute. What's that? Ooh, maybe. Overlays, move. Nope, nope. Reply. Okay. Hey. Okay. All right, done. I sent her a message. We'll see. Yeah, if any of you are watching and you're going on the group cruise, or you've sent an email to the agent, her name is Kathy, who's handling the cruise for us, and she's not getting back to you in what you feel is a timely enough manner. It should be within 24 hours. Let me know, okay? Because I'll go poker. That's what I do. I'm the problem solver. It's what I do. Anyway, always. Patricia Freeman says, Macrina, have 2 more seats for the drinks. Okay. Love you, TMC. Absolutely, Macrina. Hearing the song Lady from Empania in the hallway was so nice. Huh? The song, are you trying to say the girl from Empanema, Lido Life? Is that what you're trying to say? Anyway. Okay, she'll check her mail. Angela's laughing. Yep, I sent it to you. Macrina says, hi, Lisa. She says, thanks, Robert. I have questions for her before I book, and I don't want to miss out. No, absolutely. I remember. Yep, that's why. She's got to get on it. By the way, left her a voicemail on Friday morning, not an email. That's why I said that you sent her a phone call. Okay? We must have a beverage together. We're all going to have a beverage together. I'm going to have a beverage. What's that telling you? Speaking of which, for any of you that are new who are still here with us, we're talking about a group cruise that is going to be coming up in 2025. All right, there are the details. It is on the Carnival Horizon, November 8th, 2025. It is doing a Southern Caribbean itinerary. And here's the little teaser.
Come join us November 8th, 2025.
There'll be meet and greets,
Parties,
pineapples,
ducks, and of course the live shows.
Don't miss our first ever group cruise. We'll see you on the horizon. There you go. We'll go back to balcony cam. I haven't showed you a lot that yet. Yeah, if you want to go on the group cruise with us, just send me an email. It's my email is tallmanscruiseadventures@gmail.com. Okay, and I will forward you Kathy's information. It's a $50 deposit, guys. Okay, I mean, this is a cruise that's a year and a half away, and you only have to put a $50 deposit down. We have in each cabin will come with some sort of onboard credit. The insides come with $50. The ocean views $100. The balconies come with $150. I think the inside cabin's around $770 per person. That is with port charges and taxes all included. The ocean views are around $900 and something, and the balconies I think are around $1,200 and something. I apologize, I don't have the exact prices. Again, I'm not a travel agent. I'm not the one doing the booking, so I don't remember all the numbers. I have them written down somewhere. I can go fetch them if you want me to, but just send me an email, and I will forward you Kathy's information, and she will get in touch with you. Okay. Balcony cam makes me happy. I know. I was thinking tonight, what are we going to do for the Princess Cruise coming up next? Because we're in an inside cabin, and I don't know how their Wi-Fi is or in the rest of the ship. And so it may have to be full balcony cam, but not a. It's real dark out there. It's just hard to see anything. Let me turn it around so you can see the back of the ship, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just turn the camera all the way around. There you go. There's the back of the ship. I mean, you can't even see anything. I mean, you can see that there's the back of the ship there, but you can't see any of the water whizzing by. We can peer in on some people hanging out in chairs. That's actually one of the smoking areas for the smokers out there. You can see the ashtrays right there. It's a pretty busy area. MSC is very smoker friendly. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 smoking areas on the ship. So we'll move back up here though. At least we can see some water moving. There we go. But yeah, there you go. All right. Bev says strawberry daiquiris for all. Yeah. EMC 74. Yeah, $50, right? A reduced deposit. And in your final deposit, the deposit's actually $500. Okay? But you only have to put 50 down now. The rest of the 500, so the other 450, isn't due until June of next year. I mean, it's a long ways away. Now, the only difference is if you put down the $50, which again is great, you won't be able to pick a cabin. Okay? So you won't be able to pick a cabin, meaning if you're choosing an inside cabin, fine, choose an inside cabin, but you won't be able to pick a cabin number until you pay the full deposit. Okay? So if you wanted to pay the full deposit of $500, you pick your cabin right away. All right? If not, put the $50 down and just know that the remainder of your deposit would be due in June of next year. And again, Kathy will go over that stuff with you. Okay? But I know we're getting up there. I think, I don't know, 12, 13 cabins. I don't know. We're getting up there. So, and somebody said earlier about Carnival should buy us drinks. You know, we could do a group of 50. We can go back and start harassing them for some other goodies. We'll see what happens. Bev says, yes, strawberry daiquiris for all. Yes, our drink of choice. So anytime you want to feed us strawberry daiquiris, that is our drink of choice. If we're going to have a cocktail, typically, outside of the champagne we had on the last live stream from the frenzy with This Cruise Life. They help us polish off that bottle, Mark and Rocky. Princess Folk balcony cam is okay, or stream outside. If Macrina, our first go is always to go outside. We really want to be outside when we stream. It's a much grander experience for everyone. Really, it truly is. But if it's inside the ship, it's got to be a quiet area, or the music is going to cut through, and that's a problem. So we find ourselves, if we're going to be streaming outside of our cabin, we end up on one of the outside areas of the ship that is quiet at night. Well, that means the Wi-Fi has to be good in that area. Carnival's Wi-Fi is great on all of the outdoor areas as well. Now, Princess is a Carnival Corporation company. Do they have the same treatment? I don't know. We will find out in, I don't know, 12 days, something like that. Lido Life, awesome smoking areas. You know, it's funny. On this ship, they're a little bit different. And we'll talk about this, and you'll see the tours as we get through. Okay? A little bit different on this ship. Okay? Chris says, Lido, Beverage, Patricia, Angela, and TMC, cheers at Alchemy Cucumber Sunrise. Oh, yeah, no. We'll take the strawberry daiquiri. Thank you. With the drinks, we can talk. Yes, we can talk a lot of after some cocktails. Just make sure the camera's not rolling. Justine, I cannot wait. Neither can we. 50 cabins or 50 passengers? I'd say 50 cabins. Yeah, I would say 50 cabins. 50 passengers, I don't know. I might be able to go back because it's like 25 cabins. I might be able to go back and say, hey, you know, this is no tiny group. You got to do better. I mean, they already gave us the onboard credit. If you don't know the way that groups work, is when you book a group, there's a point value to the group. The bigger the group, typically, the more points Carnival gives you. You were then able to use those points to purchase things. We chose our points to get onboard credit for everybody. Okay? So that's where the onboard credit is coming from. It's coming from the points that were assigned to the group. Now, if we go through the cabins that we held already and we have to go get some more cabins, the group gets bigger, we'll go back to them and say, hey, y'all need to suck it up. We need a party with some cocktails for an hour. And it's typically the best that you could do, honestly, would be to have, like a meet and greet with an open bar for an hour. With certain, you get your sex on the beach and you get your daiquiri and you get your rum and coke and lower shelf stuff. But, yeah, free drinks. You like the drinks you get when you're at the welcome party. That's what happens in a meet and greet for an hour, if you can make that happen. I don't even know if they still offer that, though. But those were things that were on the list when we used to be agents, like in another eon. Can I get a strawberry daiquiri alcohol free? Do they do that? Yeah, they do that. Absolutely. EM74 says, honestly, in general, I don't care about the cabin number. Some people do, some people don't. I don't necessarily care about the cabin number, but prefer midship. Second choice, back of ship. Absolute last choice to be on the boat, front of the ship. Those are just my three choices, but we don't typically care about the cabin either. Though we've done this enough, I personally, I don't want to be on the cabin deck that is right above the last public space. Like on this ship, it's deck 8. I wouldn't want to be on deck 9 because there's some clubs down there. I mean, there's all kinds of things, and some of that can radiate up through the cabins. You never know until it happens, until you've booked those. Hey, what's that? Yeah. Alyssa must be driving. Alyssa, stop driving. So that is my only thing. And on the flip side, I don't want to be on the deck cabins that are just below the Lido, right? Where you've got the pool, you've got the buffet. I don't want to be beneath that. Okay, so I want to be somewhere smashed in the middle. That's my rule of thumb. If you've never been on a cruise before, I would put that law into practice. You can be sure that your time will be a little bit more peaceful in your cabin because there'll be less distracting noises come from either above or below. Okay, anyway. Angela says, you just made me choke from laughing at your comment. I can see the group cruise all jammed in the cabin for streaming, right? All right, we're at the live show. Come on in. No, that's why for Carnival we'll be able to find someplace outside. Again, it'll probably be out back by the pool, by the flagpole. Angela says, Macrina, you're already drinking. Yes, you can get virgin daiquiris. Yes, you guys are just answering one another. It doesn't take much alcohol to get me tipsy. Usually 2 is all. 2? Wow. At least I can really lightweights if you can have 2. We split one in work. Woohoo! You remember our stream with Bark and Rocky. We had a couple 1.5 glasses of champagne. It was like, woo! It's crazy. If it's a solo cruise, I go for the cheapest to get just on board. But inside cabins, I don't want deck 1 or 2 or under the pool. Prefer mid to back, but not necessarily. Flagpole Horizon, that's right. I was just reading some of the comments and I forgot to put them up there. Macrina was talking about her preferred location for cabins. So there you go. Well, look, guys, I appreciate you all being with us. And if you stayed with us this late, don't forget the housekeeping notes, right? If you have a question about the MSC Seascape, remember we're here, not just for the rest of the cruise, but we are doing a back-to-back. So we're going to be on it for another cruise. There's no better time to get an answer for your question than when we're on it now. We're able to go down at customer service or wherever and get you the answers. So if you have a question and you're watching the replay, leave it in the comments below. If you're with us live, well, it's a little late because I'm about to end the stream, so I'm not going to get to see the comments. So on that note, we will see you. Hopefully Lisa will be feeling better tomorrow, and we'll get her up. Even if she can't say much and she can just be here, we may try to do that, okay? And so until tomorrow night, y'all, prayers for those in the affected areas by the heavy weather, and we'll see you tomorrow night, please.